Hello, how are you all doing today? Welcome to our channel Biotilite. This is Runraj. In this class, we are going to learn about the sexual reproduction. Let us start from the definition. Sexual reproduction involves formation of the male and female gametes, either by the same individual or by different individual of the opposite sex. The gametes formed then fuse to form the zygote, which develops to form the new organism. It is a complex and slow process as compared to asexual reproduction, and it involves the fusion of male and female gametes. Offsprings are not identical to the parents. Even with different external morphology, anatomy, and physiology, the sexual mode of reproduction is similar in pattern in plants, animals, and fungi. All the organism undergoes general growth before reproductive growth. When they are reproductively mature, they can reproduce sexually. This period of general growth is called the juvenile phase, and in plants, it is known as vegetative phase. The events and processes of sexual reproduction are fundamentally similar in all organisms. However, the structures associated with sexual reproduction are quite different. In all cases, the sexual reproduction is characterized by the fusion of the male and female gametes of the species. For convenience, these sequential events may be studied as three distinct stages, namely the pre-fertilization, fertilization, and post-fertilization. Let us start from the pre-fertilization events. Number 1, gametogenesis. Number 2, gamete transfer. First one, gametogenesis, is the process of formation of gametes. Gametes are of two types, male and female gametes, derived from male and female parent respectively. Gametes are haploid cells. Gametes that are similar in appearance are called isogametes or homogametes. They are morphologically and physiologically similar. Example, Cladophora ulothrix. A majority of sexually reproducing organisms show two morphologically and physiologically distinct types of gametes. Such gametes are called as heterogametes or anisogametes. The male gametes are smaller and more active, whereas the female gametes are larger and sluggish. The male gamete is called anthrozoid or sperm, and the female gamete is called egg or ovum. Gametes are always haploids. The parent may be either haploid or diploid. A haploid parent produces haploid gametes by mitotic division. Several organisms belong to Monera, fungi, algae, bryophyta, gymnosperm, and angiosperms, and most of the animals are diploid. Here, meiosis takes place to produce haploid gametes. In diploid organism, when the myocytes undergo meiosis, only one set of chromosome gets incorporated in each gamete. And the second stage in pre-fertilization event after gametogenesis is gamete transfer. In this stage, the male and female gametes have to come in contact for fertilization. Male gamete is generally motile and female gamete is usually stationary. Gametes transfer requires a suitable medium. For example, in algae, bryophytes, and pteridophytes, water is the medium for gamete transfer. A large number of male gametes fail to reach the female gametes. Therefore, male gametes are synthesized in very large numbers as compared to female gametes. In angiosperms, pollen grains carry the male gametes and ovule contains the egg cell. Pollen grains produced in anthers and are transferred to stigma. This phenomenon is known as pollination. Pollination requires the involvement of external agents such as insects, animals, wind, and water. The pollen grains germinate on the stigma, and the pollen tubes that carry the male gametes reach the ovule and discharge two gametes near the egg cell. In bisexual animals, the organism must evolve a special mechanism for gamete transfer. Since male and female gametes are formed in different individuals, it is essential for fertilization. The second event is fertilization. The fusion of male and female gametes is called syngamy. As a result, diploid zygote is formed. This process is known as fertilization. In majority of algae, fishes and amphibians, syngamy occurs outside the body of organism. This type of gametic fusion is called external fertilization. This is seen in the bony fishes and frogs, where a large number of offsprings are produced. The offsprings are extremely vulnerable to predators. This poses a threat to their survival. In plants like fungi, bryophytes, pteridophytes, as well as reptiles, birds, and mammals, syngamy occurs inside the body of the organism. Hence, the process is called internal fertilization. In this process, the motile male gametes reach and fuse with the egg. This takes place inside the female body. In seed plants, the motile male gametes are carried to female gametes by pollen tubes. And the third event is post fertilization. And this event involves two stages. One is zygote formation and another one is embryogenesis. In stage 1, formation of zygote is common in sexual reproduction. In external fertilization, the zygote formed in the external medium, for example, water, whereas in internal fertilization, zygote is formed inside the body of the organism. The further development of zygote depends on the life cycle of the organism and the environment to which it is exposed. In organisms such as algae and fungi, zygote develops a thick wall resistant to desiccation and damage. Commonly, it undergoes a period of rest prior to germination. Some unicellular animals like paramecium, which exhibit sexual reproduction by forming male and female gamete nuclei, which they exchange through temporary cytoplasmic bridge. Later, the cytoplasmic bridge appears and the gamete nucleus of the individual fuses with that of the other to form zygote nucleus. This mode of sexual reproduction is known as conjugation. Zygote is the vital link that ensures continuity of species between organisms of one generation to the next. The stage 2 is embryogenesis, and it is the process of development of embryo from the zygote. During embryogenesis, zygote undergoes cell division and cell differentiation. Cell divisions increase the number of cells in the developing embryo, while cell differentiation helps to group of cells to undergo certain modifications to form specialized tissues and organs to form an organism. In animals, when the development of zygote takes place inside the body of the female parent, it is called viviparous. In oviparous animals like reptile and birds, the fertilized eggs covered by hard calcareous shell are laid in a safe place in the environment. After a period of incubation, young ones hatch out. On the other hand, in viviparous animals like mammals, including human being, the zygote develops into a young ones or delivered out of the body of the female parent. The chances of survival of young ones are greater in viviparous organism because of proper embryonic care and protection. In angiosperms, the zygote is formed inside the ovule After fertilization, the sepals, petals, and stamens of the flower fall off. This pistil, however, remains attached to the plant. In plants, post-fertilization changes occurs. 1. Zygote develops into embryo. 2. Ovule develops into seed. 3. Integuments of the ovule develops into seed coat. 4. Ovary develops into fruit. 5. Ovary wall develops into pericarp and it is protective in function. After dispersal, seeds germinate under favorable conditions to produce new plants. In this class, we learned about the sexual reproduction and the sequential events like pre-fertilization, fertilization, and post-fertilization. If you are having any doubts, leave it in the comments. See you in the next class. Never stop learning. Subscribe to our channel Biotilite.